Don't take a single moment of your life for granted. At this very moment, someone is taking their last breath and would give anything for a few more moments on this earth.
Call me the moment you get there. How are you doing, all flavors, beautiful land? What a lovely day we had today. And that was the sounds of Aretha Franklin right there with Call Me. And obviously our motivation for today was to don't take this life for granted. And in the nice warm studio, we have Naturally Lily. How you doing, Naturally Lily?
I am doing Ari.
And we have KJB.
Good evening all and one and all. Hope everybody's fine and enjoying the lovely summer.
We thought we'd let him come in today and join us because he really wanted to come in, right, DJ KGB?
Well,
Just say yes. Just say yes.
I am Wimbo77.
And I am Naturally Lily.
and I'm KJB.
That's right. And tonight on the 15th of June, right? Mm-hmm. I first off have to give a big shout out to my brother Gal, who it was his Earth Strong on Sunday. We had a really great do on Saturday for him. He's celebrating his 50th. So high five, Gal. We are both 50 together at the same time, but not for much longer because it's my Earth Strong next week. So I'm still a year ahead of you. All right.
And a shout out to Latoya as well. It's her Earth Strong today.
Oh, hey Latoya. Shout out to you. Niece, we have a lot of June babies in the family. It was DiCarlo's on the 6th. It was Samantha's on the 7th. In fact, it was Monroe's on the 5th. I could go down the list, but I don't think we're going to do that because we have quite a bit to get through tonight. And what was that, KJB?
I said there's a lot of June babies.
There's a lot of June
Couldn't name
babies.
them all.
Indeed. And we are shouting out the worldwide crew, the tuning crew, the chat room crew, WhatsApp crew, Facebook crew, and everybody around the world. So today we're just going to kick off straight away. And we have 2 questions for you all to ponder upon as we're going through. As you know, the lines do open up at 7 o'clock for you to join in on the conversation. But don't forget that you can also leave your comments in the chat room chat box. So do, all you silent listeners too, please come and join us in the chat room and we can further the conversation. So the first question is the world paying a high price for clothing? And the second question is, if a guy is dating a woman who has kids, is he morally obligated to help her out financially? So we'll probably tackle the first question first and then the second question afterwards. Okay? So, Lily, the National Day.
So the National Day today is National Smile Power Day. So on the 15th of June each year, National Smile Power Day shares one powerful expression. From the good morning greeting and the first how may I help you, present yourself with a smile.
Okay.
Easy to do in the sun, I guess.
Yeah, because would like to think that everyone's happy while the sun is shining.
Yeah.
And you're smiling right now.
I am.
Yes, smiling right now. DJ KJB, are you smiling right now?
Well, my headphones not working, but I'm smiling still.
That's right. Well, this is live, so we can still hear each other's conversation, which is great. And so it's not anything pre-recorded or in that sense. So we'll have to just have one ear off and one ear on, so that we can hear each other. All right, because it was very last minute. So National Smile Day. So keep smiling. Please keep smiling.
I'm smiling, definitely.
It's June the 15th. It's National Smile Power Day. It shares one powerful expression, and a smile is quite powerful. Would you not agree?
Yeah, it can make or break a situation. I've been in amazing situations where a smile has helped, and I've been in a rather scary-ish situation where a smile got someone in trouble.
Really?
Yeah.
How could a smile get someone in trouble?
So, long and short, when I was in college, I was on the bus with my friend, and we were sitting on the top deck, and she looked out the window and smiled out the window. And these two young boys got on the bus, and one of the young boys come up to her and was like, "Who are you smiling at? Who are you smiling at?" And slapped her twice in her face and stole my phone.
Oh no! I remember you telling us that story.
It was rather traumatic.
Because I used to have this woman in college when I was young. I was only about 16, and I like to smile at people. It's just my nature, second nature to smile and just, it breaks the ice. She wanted to beat me up.
I don't
You keep smiling at me. And I was just like,
wow.
And every time I saw it, I was scared. Just no
Straight
expression.
face. They're having bad days. Their energy is just, they're having a bad day.
Hey.
That was the excuse I gave this guy. I was like, he's having a bad day. He's okay.
So
It's okay.
it's talking about a power smile, but I'm not too sure about that now.
But a smile can be powerful.
Yeah.
It can be very powerful. I think of a smile of a baby. When you're in not such a great mood, or there's been a bit of tension, and then there's a baby in the environment, and they're just looking, and you see gums. That's a powerful smile. That's
cute. It is cute.
Yeah.
So yeah, we can turn it around in that sense, and I'm sure that if the baby was smiling outside of the window and the guy saw them, he's not going to come and say, "What are you smiling at? What are you smiling at?" It's just not going to do that, is it?
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
So it says, no matter where you are employed, job seeking, retired, or looking for a new horizon, starting the day with a smile is certainly more empowering than a pout or a grump. Nobody likes a grump.
Not at
I
all.
think we've mentioned that before, like grumpy people stay away, because from the time you are in the presence of that, it just brings your whole world down as well. I guess if you allow it, but it can do. So smiling is extremely powerful. Okay, it says starting with a smile first is easier than trying to get there later on in the day. And that's quite true, isn't it?
That is very true.
And I often think of Annie. Yeah, it's a hard knock life for us. And just all them, happy and stretches and smiling. And regardless of how bad life was, they were always found something to be happy about.
Yeah.
And even found the person that was persecuting them, even found that time to love them too. Wasn't that beautiful?
This is true, yeah.
Okay, so you find passion out of your pain, you find pleasure out of it, and don't allow it to bring you down. So it says, when you smile at someone, you are telling them that they are valued and worth the smile that you gave them. Smiles are morale boosters and confidence builders. Research has proven that smiling really does increase attractiveness and likability between humans. You're smiling. Oh no, you're grinning, or you're clasping your lips together. This is radio.
I don't know if I fully agree with that statement,
Why?
When you smile at someone, you're telling them that they are valued. That's not true.
Why?
Because you could be that person you don't like the person that walks in the room, and you're just like, you're not telling them their value through that smile.
So it's fake then?
Yeah, you can fake smile.
Why would you do that? She's fake smiling at me at the moment.
You know what I mean? It's just, a smile is supposed to be empowering. A smile is supposed to show someone their value. A smile is supposed to brighten someone's day. But let's be real. That sentence, it was reaching a bit. It was a bit ambitious. But no, it should show you that you're valued and that you're worthy.
So
Yes.
is it then a smile from the right person?
Yes.
Okay. So
Yes.
if it's someone that you don't necessarily know, it might be a bit hit and miss, as we've already worked out.
Yeah.
But if you're getting a smile from maybe someone that you love, from maybe someone that you value, from someone that you care about, then that is worth everything.
Definitely.
Okay, so it's a smile from the right person. What has research proven, though, as regarding to smiling?
That you use more muscles to frown than you do to smile.
Wow. Yeah, I guess I just
You
tried
use
it.
more muscles to frown than to smile. So keep the smile on, get rid of those brow lines.
But then you get those smile lines here, don't you?
Yeah, but
in your mouth.
that's happiness. That
Yeah,
shows
but in the morning when you
happiness.
see them, I blow my cheeks out in order to to get rid of them. So instead of
my
smiling,
goodness.
I end up like a puffer fish,
Oh.
trying to get rid of those lines down the side. And it says smiling creates greater trust and increased interpersonal cooperation. And smiling at someone can help them to relax and relieve their stress. What are your thoughts on that, KJB?
No, I agree with that. I think a smile is something that can really impress upon you someone's mood, and like he says, how they come up and how they might feel about it. Even I've because the job I do, I meet people who I've never met before, but I know when I smile as by way of introduction, it does soften it.
Yeah.
And it opens a little gap for you.
Yeah, like it says, it puts people at ease, doesn't
I
it?
personally, I've experienced that personally. So, but the fake smiling, I don't know. Unfortunately, we live in a world where that most things now can be faked. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
so we got to be aware of when someone smiles. We got to be able to interpret it ourselves and hopefully take it for what it is.
Yeah, okay. And that's very true, because it says it puts people at ease. No bashing the table, it's making noise, can help. So even if you do not feel like it, smiling will lift your mood as well. And we are talking about the National Day. So it can make you a happier person if we smile. That's what Kirk Franklin says, isn't it?
Just smile. That song.
No, Lily.
That's the song.
So Nat King Cole that was.
Oh, well, there you go.
Sing
Two
about
songs
smile.
about a smile.
Who knows, we might put one of those on for you
Oh,
in the
I like.
break, because we are serving the hashtag Smile Power Day. So Lily, how do we observe it?
So, you have to challenge yourself to smile more often today. Use a smile to disarm a tense situation, or simply smile during your daily tasks. Are you having trouble smiling? Here's some tips to help you smile. Think of a few happy moments that automatically generate a smile for you. The moments that you belly laughed until your stomach hurt. You can save a couple of short jokes or just silly ones that can help you smile. The best ones are simple children's jokes or riddles that play on words, usually those nonsense jokes. Learn spoonerism. This is interesting. This fun way of swapping letters in two words in a phrase to make a new word makes people stop and think, and then they smile, and so will you. An example of spoonerism is, instead of ordering peas and carrots in a restaurant, you can say, I'll have the keys and a parrot.
Well, that made you smile.
That's ridiculous.
I just thought, what?
Nonsense.
But now I'm smiling and laughing.
That was a silly joke at the same time. And then finally, make a list of things that you're grateful for. Which ones make you smile? Keep the list handy and refer to it often. Add to it and fill your smiles up there. Add to it and feel your smiles add up.
I was in the park yesterday. I just quickly went out for a bit, just to do a bit of writing. Normally I'd stay out a bit longer, but I got quite a bit of a heavy schedule this week, and writing down the list. And I said, I feel I am so grateful that the sun is kissing my body right now, just shining down and just taking in the environment. And it does lift your spirits.
Yeah.
I smile just thinking about that, just seeing the sun out in the sky. And that's wonderful, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, have you got any jokes, Ken?
Yeah, I've got a really silly one.
Oh, come on. Let's see if we
Tell
can.
it.
Yeah.
What happened to the dog that buried his bones?
I don't know.
He's boneless.
He was never seen again.
Okay. Thanks, KJB.
The thing is, I'm a sucker for a stupid joke. I really am. Everything makes me laugh.
Someone told me that one.
That's even worse. Hey, so hashtag Smile Power Day. And remember, if your dog has buried his bones, Just go and look in the back garden and try and see if you can locate him somewhere. So that's National Day for today, National Smile Power Day. So today in history, this was quite a very interesting one. It was happy and sad all at the same time. But in searching to find someone that had made a mark on June the 15th, I found this really great quote from Marcus Garvey. And it says, "Chance has never yet satisfied the hope of a suffering people." Chance has never yet satisfied the hope of a suffering people. So I took it from the fact that we don't do things by chance. If we do things by chance, then people aren't going to be satisfied.
No, everything you do has to have purpose.
Yeah, yes, there's got to be purpose behind that act. Yeah, would you agree with that?
Yeah, especially when you think of what Marcus Garvey stood for and what he tried to instill in individuals and as a people. And when you think about him, he never ever made a quote or made a speech. It was never chance. There was always a goal.
Yeah, he done a lot, Marcus
Always a
Garvey.
purpose.
I mean, we're not highlighting Marcus Garvey today, but I just thought about that, chance never satisfying the hope of a suffering people. So as a people that are suffering, that there has to be a plan perhaps put in place that can be followed. And there are a lot of Garveyites that look at Marcus Garvey's teachings and try and implement them, you know. And just thinking about that today, chance has never satisfied the hope of a suffering people. So in saying that, this was a woman who we're going to look at again this week. We looked at a woman last week, Sojourner Truth. And this lady, her name is Bessie Coleman. Now, have you heard of Bessie Coleman out there, listeners? Let us know if you know who Bessie Coleman is. I mean, we're going to go in and speak about her today. However, she done some amazing things, Lily. What is it that she did?
It says she's the first licensed American of African descent pilot. So she was the world's first licensed black aviator. So she was able to fly aeroplanes, making her a pioneering pilot as both American woman of African descent and a woman. So that's two birds in the same pond.
I found it quite interesting that she could not get her aviator's license in the US. There was no one that would teach her how to fly. So she took a chance. So in the sense of chance in going, and she moved with action. So it wasn't like
There's more
she was
faith
just,
than chance.
right. Yeah. So she put things into place and decided to go about finding a way that she could fly. So she travelled, which again was something else that wasn't done, and she found somewhere. And it's quite funny because it says that she got interested in flying after her brother's return from World War One.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people may not be aware, but there were a lot of black soldiers that fought in both World Wars. They may have us to think that there wasn't. Sadly, in both World Wars, the Americans were segregated from fighting, but she took it up after her brother's return from World War One. To find somewhere to teach her to fly.
And she went to Paris, didn't she? She moved to Paris, was accepted to aviation school, and on June the 15th, 1921, she received her pilot's license from Fédération Aéronautique Internationale, and it made her the first licensed black aviator. Does that mean black as in just male and female?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Wow.
First licensed. So maybe there were ones that were not licensed, because there must have been ones that fought in the wars. They must have done some form of what
No,
do they
were
call them?
they were more foot soldiers, weren't they?
Are they airmen? No, there were airmen.
Pilots.
There were fighters, because I'm sure I read about one recently. He was a black fighter, in the war. I'll have to find his name. Ken?
No, I was thinking. I was just saying. I think maybe the Second World War, but we're talking about just after the First World War, isn't it? So maybe because of the fact that it was after the First World War, maybe that's why she was the first black aviation pilot. Maybe
Licensed.
Licensed. Sorry.
Yeah.
Aviation pilot.
Because then going forward, like you're saying, in the Second World War, they would have been more than likely black pilots and airmen.
Yeah.
I guess we need to do a bit of research on that.
I'm just seeing if there were. And Eugene Bullard served in the French Foreign Legion, it says here, became one of the most decorated soldiers, World War One, and he became the first African-American combat pilot.
In what year?
Credited with 2 unofficial kills during World War One.
But he was French.
French, yeah.
So she's American.
French aviation. So I know that there were pilots, but they weren't like they were.
Yeah, but they would have been
upon.
pilots. But that's the point. She was the first American.
Yeah.
To be able to achieve this accolade, because we obviously know what it's been like in the United States.
Yeah.
1960s, they were still fighting for equal rights and civil rights to be treated. I can't even say fairly, because they still weren't treated fairly, but took 40 odd years after that for them still to not be segregated.
Yeah,
so
that's right, because this is in 1921.
Yeah,
that Bessie Coleman returned to the US with this license to fly, and license to do this, to be a captain, to be a pilot. Sadly, she died in 1926. And died doing what she loved. She died or was tossed from a plane and plunged to her death. I'm quite surprised that they didn't have, those parachutes.
I'm sure she's a black woman. Why would they give her one? Sorry, do you know what I just see is very interesting? We keep referring to her as an African American.
Yeah.
But she's actually native.
Yeah. Yeah.
Her dad was Cherokee.
Yeah, she was part African American and part Cherokee.
I really hate that term, African American.
I know. When I was looking at this, we use it quite a lot, don't we? But then what?
American of African descent. That's what I say.
Okay, American of African descent.
Because this is just a term that they made up in the 80s to appease.
Appease who though? Are they happy to be called an African American? Are they even pleased to be called African American? That's something I'll have to find out.
I think it was something to do with, what's her name? It's a black woman in 85. And there was a lot of obviously activism and that going on back then. And it was something to do with they didn't like to be called black. Black and white, we're not black. There's loads of different shades of us, but we need more definition. Don't know why you would want more definition. But it was almost as well in line with... what's it called? Kind of identifying them as descendants of slaves.
Yeah, yeah.
This was their
right
to
the
passage,
thing they came
I
up
guess.
to. Because there's still no right to passage, because there's still, as we're going to go on and see later on in the programme, I was shocked. Someone sent me an article in. It's to do with Meghan Markle, I know. But it was just the whole audacity of it all. We're going to look at that very, very soon. But, so there's a lot bit that has been going on. And, I mean, these definitions, we're looking at Bessie Coleman and the advancements that she made when it comes to aviation. And I think that, hats off, we've looked at quite a few sorry, I have a call coming in. Just one moment, I'm going to see who this is. Hello.
Hello, how are you today?
I'm good, thank you. Who's speaking?
Okay, Axola, my name is Kim. I'm calling you regarding your interest in the financial market.
Well, she's definitely not listening to the to the show. And I should know the lines open at 7:00.
Yes.
Oh dear. Okay, never mind. We'll put that one to the back burner, because I don't know. These people, they call you up randomly. All right, so
Goodness.
I know. I thought she was calling me out because of the accent. I thought that she was calling us in regards to the African American terminology that we were using. So beautiful people, stick around, and we will see y'all in 5. Sounds of Kirk Franklin. I tell you, I fell in love with Kirk. Like, I wasn't really a gospel fan previously, but last year during that whole pandemic business, I thoroughly fell in love with Kirk, and that song was Smile, and the song before that was Lala Hathaway with Smile too, as we are celebrating National Smile Power Day, right? So Lily, we are looking at the word of today, and I'm sure it's one that all of us are aware of. What's the word?
Deride.
Deride. Yes, deride.
Don't you deride me. That's what I think of. It's from a film.
What film's that?
It's from a kid's film. Kid's film. Princess and the Frog.
Okay. Oh,
It's Dr. Vasilier that says it.
them what they call them Disney films are dark, man. This
Yeah,
one
that's
was really
quite a dark film.
Seriously, that was like, what? Was he the Juju man or the
Yeah, it's the Voodoo Man.
Voodoo man? That's right.
Went to the Voodoo
Okay.
Man. Okay. So, deride means to laugh at or insult contemptuously. What's quite a harsh word? Contemptuously, to subject to usually bitter or contemptuous ridicule or criticism, to express a lack of respect or approval of.
Deride. Deride.
Make lower.
But if we were pertaining to that joke of there was a guy and his sister, she was in hospital and he had to name the children. So the when the sister woke up, she goes, "Oh gosh, he didn't name them." She had twins, one boy, one girl, and she asked the nurse, "What did he name them? What did he name them?" So the nurse says, "Well, he named your little girl Denise, and he named your son the nephew." And they're going on the ride home.
I apologise, guys, for the bad jokes. It is the Smile Power Day, so
There you go.
we're making you smile.
I'm not good at telling jokes, by the
Oh my
way, but yeah, deride.
Wow.
Right, so it's a prefix of make lower, devalue. So that
Devalue.
D is the word, isn't it? And ridere, a Latin verb to laugh. Okay, so devalue is D, and the ridere, Latin, if that's how you say it, I'm not too sure, is to laugh at. And it is true, it's like
But
making
that
fun
makes
of,
me
isn't
think
it?
To laugh, it makes to make a lower laugh. To laugh lower.
Yeah, so you're
That's
instead
not a bad
of
thing.
laughing with someone, you're laughing at them.
Okay.
In that sense, because deriding someone is you're kind of putting them down, like it said, contemptuously.
Ridicule them.
Yeah, ridicule.
Making them lower than yourself,
Yeah.
Yeah, bringing them down, right?
but not openly.
Like it says, insulting in a contemptuous way. So you're out of
What does
contempt.
contemptuous? That's when you hold in horrible thoughts, isn't it?
Contempt.
So
So you
it's
don't really like a bit
contemptful.
like
Yeah.
smiling.
Oh,
Yeah,
Fake smile.
fake smiling. Look, we're linking it all together, Lily. It's all coming together. Yeah, so it's like linking it all together. Contemptuous, out of contempt, you're just saying something and bringing the person down. And that's not nice, is it?
so go on. Do you
I
wanna-
was just, when we talk about that word, it reminded me of the Big Bang Theory, and I can't remember the guy's name. Sheldon. When I think of that word, it reminds me of
because he's
Sheldon.
always bringing down his friend.
But the thing is, I don't think Sheldon's different because he was autistic and he didn't fully understand.
No, he understood when he was tearing him
Do
down.
you think so?
Fully understood.
Okay.
He fully understood it.
I won't, all right.
He invited his friend over just to deride him.
Okay. Oh, there you go, Lee. She's done it in the
Used
sentence.
it in a sentence.
And there you go. Like we say, build your vocabulary every week. Get a word of the day in your inbox every single day to build that vocabulary. And I'm sure we all were familiar with that word deride, because it's something, this is in our everyday language, isn't it? Okay, so our news, we're going into the news, and just shouting out DJ Nige, DJ Caddy and John J.E. You can catch John J.E. on a Sunday in the morning, as well as Caddy on a Thursday, and DJ Ninjaman Lloyd on a Thursday and Sunday. Nige, you can catch him on a Saturday and Sunday. So in breaking news, we're going to go into an update, right? And this is an update as regards to Sasha Johnson. And I know we spoke about her recently, didn't we?
Yeah, so she was shot at a at a party. She was not the intended person, so they didn't intend to go there and shoot her. However, she was the collateral damage. So a second teenager has been charged with conspiracy to murder over the shooting of Sasha Johnson, and they've said that he will appear at the Old Bailey on the 25th of June. Another young man has appeared in court 2 weeks ago and has been charged with the conspiracy to murder. So not necessarily being the one that took the shot, but he was there most probably. So therefore the conspiracy. But she's still fighting for her life, isn't she?
Yes, she is. And it's so sad because the parents, again, they're putting out an appeal to find out what happened. They said what's happened has left left the family devastated. She's currently still fighting for her life in hospital, with two children asking, where's mummy? What are they meant to tell the children?
I don't understand what happened. What happened is someone drove past the party and shot her in her head.
Dependent on the age of the children, how they're going to explain that to the children, that your mum got shot. Is
Yeah,
that
but
what they're going to say?
they're saying someone must have information on what happened. The information is someone drove past your house and shot your daughter in the head.
Yeah, but what they're saying is what they're going to say to the two children.
There's just, I feel like you shouldn't. I know it's one of those, hard rock on a hard place. How much do you tell the children? But I think if they're young, they don't need to know all of this. Shoot up. Mummy's just been hurt and she's not very well.
Wow.
And then if she recovers, when they grow, they'll learn the story. But I just feel like when children are young, we keep on tainting children's innocence.
That's why the mum's saying that they keep asking where the mother is.
Yeah.
They don't know what to say to the children. But like you said, you've put it like that.
Mummy's
That's
hurt.
fair enough, yeah. But that still doesn't explain to them, like, they want their mum. Why can't mummy come home? They're probably asking that every day. And
no, I'm just looking at this, the story and how unfortunately this is another example of how something like this affects not just one person, i.e. Sasha, but how it affects a whole generation, a whole family, a whole community.
Yeah.
And when you think of those who've been arrested, like 18.
I know, that's what got me.
Such
was
a
the
waste of
ages.
life.
They said teenagers. They're not even young men, but teenagers that are in this position. So again, Sasha's family's been affected, as well as these young men. There were 5 men that were brought in, and the other 3, I think, they have been bailed, but they've got to appear before a magistrate. Yeah. However, these 2 that are one going up to the Old Bailey, their families are affected now by their actions. So, like we just said,
and it's like a knock-on effect, isn't it? It's like we don't know how these young boys grew up, but now Sasha's children, if the worst case scenario was to happen, they're now growing up without a mother, raised by grandparents, and that vicious cycle tends to be. There's always some kind of common denominator in these young boys' life or young people's life that end up falling into this negative way of living, the gang culture, drug culture, that kind of thing. There's always something that's happened that has had a knock-on effect. And these two young children, is this going to be a knock-on effect? You know, it's going to take a lot from the grandparents to try and put back the broken plate. Do you know what I mean?
And even though it's put back,
exactly, that's what I'm saying. Even if it does get put back, there's still cracks in the plate.
Yeah, and in relating to the young people, remember we spoke about the missing children a couple of weeks ago, and sadly in this situation, some of the young children that are taken have will end up in this situation. Because a lot of them are being tendered out to these houses to do whatever.
Yep.
Okay, they don't know who they are. They might be so scared that they've just got to do as they're told. We do not know what's going on. And it was highlighted again. Jay Ricky came on the show last week and there was more children. It's just ridiculous. Ridiculous. How do we get to the root cause of this?
The problem is, in my opinion, it's out of our hands.
Yeah.
If I'm blunt, it's out of our hands. Why are the authorities not doing anything? And we get taught when we start training as teachers, as healthcare professionals, we have to do child safeguard, and we get taught this is what you look out for. This is what happens to these young children. They get groomed and they get put here and then they're back in society and blah blah blah. So if they're teaching that to us, even more so within the police force and the, authorities, they are trained for this every day. What are they doing? I don't understand.
Apparently they're aware of it, but nothing's being done.
But how can you be aware of 300 children plus going missing and absolutely nothing is being done? 300, we've given you the van, we've given you pictures of the men in the van, we've given you sightings of the men in the van. You can catch a man in a hole if you want to.
True.
But you can't track a man driving a van. You can track a man or a woman that has been on the run for the last 16 years, but we've given you all of the information, a lot, maybe not all, but a lot of the information that you need.
Nothing.
And you're aware of it. No, that's not good enough.
It's
not good enough.
That whole division.
And now all parents are just on, like, it's so, I'm sorry, I'm getting triggered because I'm taking my children out to the park, I'm taking them out, and I can't enjoy them enjoying themselves, and they can't enjoy themselves because I'm telling them off every 5 minutes. Don't go there, don't do this, don't do that. Because you're on such high alert. Everyone around you is a threat. Everyone around you is, is that person going to grab my child? And I'm telling my 6-year-old, remember the white van? That's her hint now to know you're going too far away from me. It's awful.
So, just taking it back to this similar such situation, they were just having a party.
Yeah, just out in the garden.
Just out in, like you were saying, you'd be out in public, out with the kids. They were out in the garden in a private area, but yet even that wasn't safe.
Yeah. Well, Sasha is passionate, it says, about standing up for others. So please come forward and stand up for Sasha. So detectives are continuing to appeal for anyone with information to come forward. So please, if you can, call 101 or Crime Stoppers anonymously on 0800 555 111. That's 0800 555 111, quoting the reference 1172 / 23 May. All right, so I think we'll put that in the chat room, please, Leash, and then so people can be aware of that. And yes, hollowing out Charlie Muir. Hi, DJ Larrow. DJ Larrow's on from 8 till 10 tonight. You can catch DJ Larrow, and you can catch Charlie Muir for the General Disarray show tomorrow, as well as Darnell the Therapist on Wednesday. So in saying that, this is the next thing. So, I mean, we've touched on community-wise things that are going on there, but there's been outrage in the Telegraph against this columnist Julie Birchall. Now, David Isaac George sent this in to me, and we saw it on, was it Friday we saw it, Ken? And I thought, when I saw the name, I didn't think much of it, but going through it today, I was just taken aback. I really was. So we know that Meghan Markle and Prince Harry had their new baby, Lilibet, on last Friday.
Yeah.
It was last Friday. So this Julie Birchall, it says she's been sacked because she did make a racist tweet as regards to Meghan and Prince Harry's new baby. Now, her name is Lilibet Diana Mountbatten Windsor, and it was a nickname given to her because the Queen, they used to call the Queen Lily.
Yeah.
Because I think she had a stutter, right? Or she couldn't pronounce her name properly. So that's why they call her Lily. But this woman,
I've just seen her tweet.
along with her friend who's a lawyer, Joanne Tosh, they were both blasted for the things that they said as regards to the child's name. Now, what's up, Lily?
Sorry, I've just seen the
Have you seen a tweet?
I saw the first tweet.
Yeah.
But now I'm seeing the second tweet. I'm
crazy.
seeing the
dialogue. So this woman, she said, the one that's been sacked, what's her name again? Let's get Julie Birchall. She said, first off, that they should have called her Georgia Floydina. Now, when we read it on Friday, was it Saturday we read it? And it didn't strike anything to me till I read it today. When I read it, my mouth kind of hit the floor. Georgina, let this soak in, beautiful people. Georgina Floydina. Okay, Lily?
Can we read the whole statement?
Read the whole statement.
Julie Birchall, at Booze and Fags, that's her at tag, said, "What a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
They could have called it, we'll get to that in a minute. They could have called it Georgina Floydina." Yeah. And that has been reshared 161 times at this point. So
we know that's in Georgina Floydina is in reference to George Floyd. Mm-hmm. Okay, but it gets worse.
Yeah.
Because her friend, this is Tosh, the lawyer Tosh, who's a lawyer, high-flying in the States, okay, says, no, Doria. Now, Doria is referring to Meghan's mother. No, Doria. Don't Black Lives Matter. Don't black names matter. Sorry, no black names matter.
I'm getting triggered.
Okay. And then the conversation continues. Lily, how did Birchall respond to that?
I was hoping for Doria Oprah, the racist rotters.
Right. Doria. So Doria is, don't forget,
the mum and Oprah.
Yeah. And then what does Tosh say? Dopra
with a question mark.
Dopra. So this is the conversation.
And
okay. Now I wasn't going to. I really wasn't. I thought, going back down this road again. But two things stuck out to me. All right, is the inherent racism, and she thought that she could get away with tweeting something like that. All right, and the supremacy whole thought that they can actually write something like that and put it out into the public domain. Okay.
No, I was just going to say, there seems to be a culture of this. This is one incident, but because of the whole high profileness of who Harry and Meghan are, obviously it had to come out. It had to come out and it had to be challenged. But unfortunately, there is a culture, even in this country, there's a culture of people tweeting and posting.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of posts.
Racially motivated comments and leaving it on people's page.
The footballers get it a lot, don't they?
No, I've seen some about the baby.
Oh, have you?
Yep.
And what were those?
How black is she?
But they said that about
a little bit.
It's not funny, Lily. We should not be laughing.
I'm actually laughing out of anger. I already told you that I am awkward and things like this. Okay, and I'm even more infuriated at the fact that she thinks she can say sorry, but not actually say sorry. Because in her sorry, you see how I'm getting triggered. In her sorry comment, she says, "I am very sorry for the comment and what I saw as a joke. So even still, you're not apologising because you're justifying what you said because it was funny to you.
No, I think Tosh as well has to be accountable.
This is Tosh's apology. This is Tosh's
Really?
apology.
Okay. Because when
I
she says
fought
Dopra,
during my professional life against racism, which is abhorrent, but you thought it was funny. I'm not a judge and I have children of colour. I am children of colour and I apologise unreservedly. She says, I have children of colour and this is how you fit you as one of the others think that is acceptable to talk about a child as an it. That is me. You haven't even given that child enough respect to give it a male, female, non-binary, whatever you want to call it. You haven't even given the child that respect to say, oh, why didn't they call her Floydina? Do you know what I mean? You haven't even gone there, and you think that this little sham of an apology is enough.
what are your thoughts out there, listeners, as regards, I don't know if you've heard about this situation of the lady being sacked, and really it's my words escape me to think of that they could even disrespect a young baby that's just come into this world. Wow. To treat a young baby this way. Yes, KJB.
Yeah, I was just going to say, but also we got to think about, I think, the organisations who run these web sites need to take more responsibility.
I think they did take responsibility because one, they were slated for it. That both women didn't come out unscathed. They were slated for it, and action was taken by one being suspended and one losing her job.
But what I'm saying is, they, in the sense that those who run to those pages, Google, the platforms, need to take more. I just feel they need to take.
I don't think that. I just
more responsibility in, if these things are put out there, they should be shutting down these people's sites,
I think they do.
taking them off. Well, no, I'm just saying, I haven't seen that personally.
They done it to Donald
but
Trump, didn't they? They kind of took him off.
And
he was
banned, and I think they need to do that more because, as I said, there's a prevalence out there, and there is a culture of this now. This is, as I said, this is highlighted, but this is just the tip of the iceberg.
Look, the sad thing is
Tip of
that
the iceberg,
Priti Patel, when it comes to racism on the football field and people being penalised, she said that they should be able to go ahead and say what they want to say anyway. And this is someone that's in leadership. Yes, Lily.
No, I'm going further into this naming of the child, and everyone has their opinion about, oh, you shouldn't have called her that, and blah. This Angela Levin slammed the sentimental move, suggesting it exploits a very private nickname. Do you not think that he would have gone to his grandma and said, this is what we want to name our daughter? Do you not think that possibly he named her that because he's not, they went on this program, they called out the family, blah blah, and he actually said it's not my grandmother, so it shows he has a relationship with his grandmother. Do you not think he would have gone to her first and say, Granny, this is what we want to call our daughter?
It doesn't matter regardless of what they called her. That's what they've chosen, okay? And
but it's this person's comment. They said it was a private nickname from her husband, who hasn't been dead for very long. Prince Charles would never have dreamed of calling his mother Lilibet, but he didn't call his mother Lilibet.
Yeah, that's what they used to call her. That's what the family possibly called her because she couldn't say it properly.
And they haven't called his mother, they've called the child that.
Yeah. But it's.
Go on.
Nickname for Elizabeth, Lily. You know, sometimes we shorten names and things like that. It's none of our business.
Sorry, these white people are shocking. I don't say that very odd. These white people are shocking.
But it's just how we can see how the mechanism and the thought process and the patterns that they feel that they're not, there's no backlash from the things that they say and the things that they do.
And what would they have done if they called her Elizabeth? Would they have? That's a very common name.
But I don't think it's a fact of calling it the name that they've actually called her, but it's the fact that the whole Georgina Floydina business, and no, black names matter, and then no, the Dopra. No, Doria Oprah, then the Dopra. That is where the mistake was made. And I know you said, yes.
No, I don't think it was a mistake. I think it was calculated and they knew what they were doing, because
Of course they did.
you don't make statements like that without knowing that there's going to be consequences.
No, she did. She said, I've got black kids too, and I thought it was funny.
I know at the time she may have felt there was no consequences, but she must, at some point, or at something must have sparked. And but obviously it just shows like I said, the culture and the openness that she, and the confidence that she had to post that.
Yeah.
And like you said, maybe she felt there were no consequences because of, as I said, the way.
What gets me is the fact that I'm not cutting
the media's
you.
being run in the
Is that
States.
she says, the lady Tosh says that she's got children of colour, yet she can openly make jokes like that. So it shows that there is some inherent and subconscious racism that resides there.
And this is the point I was just about to make.
And it's like someone that says, oh, I'm not racist, I've got black friends, or oh, I'm not racist, I've got black children. Yeah, your actions are showing different.
But this is the black friends. Okay, you stand in your corner, but you have children who are going to come across people like you, and the fact that I understand when that I'm not against interracial relationships. You love who you love. We said this before on this on this show. But what I'm against is the fetishism of it. Oh yeah, my big black husband and my protective man, and then you go in and making comments like this. And where was the man? Where was the father of the children that thought that this was acceptable for you to post?
Yeah, but we don't. When we're posting stuff on social media, we don't go, "Oh, love, look at this one posting."
No,
we just
but
post.
I'm saying, for example, if this is in the news, this is, everyone has seen this. You have an open. It's not a private profile she's got. You have an open profile because people saw it. So did the father of her child see it? Did he think this was acceptable?
Especially the Georgina Floydine, I think that was just so disrespectful.
Where does it get shut down? And this is why we need to stop. This isn't why we need to stop relying on them for our validation, because they can't have respect for themselves. You've got children of colour, and you can't even respect your own blood enough to keep these words in your mouth.
But it's about self-control. We might think it, but we don't have to say it.
But you shouldn't be thinking things like this if you've got family members.
Even if we are thinking it or we're not thinking it, because people think, we don't know what the person next to us is thinking. They could be thinking anything, but it doesn't mean we have to act upon how we feel. Joy says,
shocking.
how deep and wide is racism? Enough in high places, God help us. And it is this in very high places, as we can see here. Right, we're going to leave it for 5 to let Lily calm down and get a nice...
fanning herself.
As you can hear it on the microphone. Sorry. Wind. Right, so we'll see you on Friday. We'll be tackling the questions after the break about clothing, and is the price that the world is paying too high? Or is the world paying a high price for clothing? As well as, if a guy is dating a woman who has kids, is he morally obligated to help her out financially? We'll see y'all in 5. And that was the sounds of Cameo. Time is really trying to beat us tonight. Here on the 15th of June 2021. We have Naturally Lily in the studio, as well as DJ KJB. I am Wimbo77. And that was just the sounds of Cameo. I'll love you anyway. All right, so the next point that we're making here is the world paying a high price for cheap clothes? Lily, I know you looked into this.
I did. I found this article quite interesting, actually, because everyone wants things on a budget. Everyone wants things at the lowest cost that they can spend, not realizing the damage it's actually doing to our environment. For example, something on sale for £4, like a £4 t-shirt, can be causing, was it 3,000 litres worth of damage to where was it, China?
One t-shirt. Wow.
And that's because cotton itself, I'm trying to find where it said it, but the growing and that whole process was jeans. Producing a pair of jeans consumes more water, around 3,000 litres, due to the dyeing and bleaching involved.
Wow.
Whereas processing one cotton t-shirt makes about 5 kilograms of carbon dioxide, which we know is not good for the environment, and around the amount produced driving a 12-mile journey in a car, and it uses as much as 1,750 litres of water, because cotton is water guzzling.
As we know when we're washing the clothes.
Yeah.
The sad thing is, it says that a lot of these clothes that go on sale, they'll boast a green label with the word conscious on it. But how conscious are we? Because I guess it's all about being aware of the things that we buy. I know we've spoken a lot on this, and our green footprint. What kind of footprint are we leaving on the earth? Because we are all paying a price for the things that we want to consume.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
And I think people don't realise that these larger companies, this is why they can charge such a small amount for their product, because they are using these larger manufacturing methods to produce things at a higher rate, at a faster rate. But this fast, higher rate is doing more damage to the environment, whereas the smaller businesses that may charge premium for their product, it's because they are using more organic materials. They are sourcing more organic materials, which, you know, it's like the chocolate, isn't it? If you don't know, you don't know.
But when you do know, it's something we have to do something about it. When we, you know.
Yeah.
And it says there, when a shirt costs $5 or £5 or whatever, it's quickly seen as disposable. So, like going to Primark, for instance, the clothes are very cheap there.
Yeah.
But one wash, you're done.
Yeah.
Like it really isn't worth the laundry time, because it doesn't fare well in the laundry basket. But this is a high turnover. People want high fashion at a cheap rate, but are not seeing the devastating effects. Because when you think, you're saying that how many thousands of litres of water, yet China, they can't even have clean drinking water.
Exactly.
What sense does that make?
And they're one of the biggest producers of cotton.
Yeah.
No, it's just interesting because I just read something about how the companies are trying to tackle it.
Yeah.
Right.
But really they're trying to put millions into so-called projects to help fund sustainability, but then it gives the consumer some comfort. But really what the companies are saying, look, you keep buying what you buy, we'll keep mass producing it, because we are spending millions of dollars or pounds or whatever currency is to try and find a solution, and we are still recycling. So it's still giving that the added comfort to the customer. So it's hard to stem people's view that recycling, it's great, but we know it's not sustainable because we can see the damage to our planet.
Yeah.
And what I found interesting is, so in a lot of these stores, I know H&M does it, where you can take old clothes and they recycle the old clothes, but people don't actually realise that a lot of this recycling, or where they're disposing of these old garments, is they're generating such large amounts of waste.
Landfill, probably.
Yeah, it goes into landfills, and that within itself creates another issue.
Yeah.
Because then you've got landfills full of old clothes where they're mass producing more clothes, because like you said, people see a £5 t-shirt as disposable. They'd take more care of it if it was £24 or £30, as opposed to, I just bought it for £5, it's washed out, I can buy another one. And then that just adds to the problem, because to be fair, before, I remember H&M being more high-end
Yeah, they were.
priced before, and obviously going forward they've
Just jumped on the bandwagon, really, isn't it? To produce clothing because then it gets people into the doors. That's
Yeah.
what they want. It's about consumerism and getting the customers in. But it says clothes are harming the planet, and collectively the global fashion industry produces nearly 4 billion metric tons of greenhouse gas emissions, or 8.1% of the world total, according to Qantas. That's a lot. So it says a climate consultancy that analyses the fashion industry and environmental impact. That calculation includes the 7 life stages of a garment, beginning with creating the fibres used to make it, by growing the cotton, assembling the clothing, and eventually transporting and selling it. So that's, go from factory or from growth to sales. There's a whole lot that goes on in between. It says when we're standing in the shopping malls or in the shopping online ready to click buy, it's hard to fathom the global consequences of individual purchases.
Yeah, and I find it interesting that Henrik Alpen, who's the manager of, he's the sustainability engagement manager of H&M, even he makes the statement that it's not, it's a challenge. They're struggling to balance climate commitment with consumer demands. He said it's not exactly rocket science. If you look at how the global population will develop, by 2014 we might be 9 billion people.
Wow,
That's
we're getting
argued.
there, aren't we? Yeah.
That's argued. And this is of course great for perspective of having potential customers, but if you look at how it's going to affect the planet, that it doesn't match up.
Yeah.
And if they continue to keep on mass producing these cheap items, then of course it's not going to be sustainable.
Conducive, yeah.
And it's interesting that because obviously they had a committee, they wrote papers on it, and the committee that was put in charge to look at sustainability in the clothing industry basically said what consumers need to do is buy fewer items, better quality.
Yeah, and that works out. It does work out.
It lasts longer, doesn't it?
But when you look at the divide and the current status of people's wages and how they have to live, sometimes it's not economically viable for some people. I'm just saying that could be an issue.
I think that is an issue that can be overcome. So if we're looking at the fact that people's income is not as lucrative as many people want their income to be, you can still buy high-end quality, or not even high-end, you could still buy good quality items at the premium price without having to pay premium price all in once. We live in a
Back
world
in the day
of...
we used to save.
Exactly.
And get something, but it's this
and
high
you're spending
turnover.
more buying £5 than if you just spend £20 once.
Absolutely, or more. And it says but it doesn't end with the sale, because it says washing clothes can also have a detrimental effect on the environment.
Yeah.
So it says especially synthetic materials like polyester. I mean, polyester is not the greatest thing. You find that most things in China are made out of polyester as well, but it says they contain plastic fibres, and after frequent washes those fibres break down into microplastics which can make their way to oceans and harm marine wildlife. So it's like a vicious cycle. I don't recall having tons of clothes when I was growing up.
It's because
we
they
were
cost more
happy
and they was better quality.
Yeah, and we were clean. It was about being happy and being clean. But yes, Ken.
No, I was just going to say, but remember there wasn't such saturation when we were growing up.
I mean, they weren't horses and carriages roaming the streets. But
When
so
I mean
I'm not that old, okay?
when I mean to clarify, when I mean saturation, I mean like there wasn't so much invasion into your home, like technology wise.
Yeah.
So when we saw something on the TV, it was quality.
Yeah.
It had to be quality because there was no other way of generating us to go and buy it.
Yeah.
Now it doesn't have to be quality. You can just saturate it, put it on whatever platform, and people.
I remember there was a time, Liz,
Why?
remember we were buying stuff online and you'd get it and it's like, who made this? Like, was it the three,
Wish.
was it the three fairies from Beauty and the Beast? Oh no, it was the Sleeping Beauty.
Oh, goodness me. Yeah, you just... I don't know. I think high street fashion at the moment, it encourages buy now and continue to buy now.
It's throwaway, isn't it? It's throwaway.
Yeah, we live in a throwaway society. I want it today and it's gone tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I can go and get more tomorrow if I want to, because it doesn't matter about today. I've had my fun, and I don't have to worry about the environment. When in fact we do, we really, really do. So it's about, again, that self-awareness. It's about being and knowing what we're getting ourselves into.
It's it's interesting that out of all the article, nothing was really highlighted about educating the consumer.
Yeah.
I thought I'd just raise that.
Well, I'd like to educate the consumer because one thing I have observed is that large corporations don't really care, and they don't have to do their research because they've been mass producing this for years and years and years. Amen. However, the smaller businesses have taken their time, they've done their research, they've looked at different quality, they've looked at different companies, they've looked into what they are giving their customer. They spend more time, they take more care in what they're giving to their customer. So if we want to beat this, consumer and having loads of things instead of just having good quality things, one thing we may like to consider is possibly buying from smaller companies.
Yeah,
there are
definitely.
A lot of that have popped up recently. Smaller companies that produce clothes, they produce skincare items, they produce hair care, they produce everything that you can think of. There is a small business that will most probably fit your niche.
And also the quality wise, we know that it's possibly a high quality.
Yeah.
And they use more natural products to sell to the consumer. So it's well worth looking into that. Tevolution is a company like that, isn't it, Lily?
Yes.
So tevolution.co.uk.
t-volution.co.uk. I put in the chat. They do use very high end quality clothing, and that is all. It's been sourced. It's a lot of their items are organic cotton, because you can get obviously the generic cotton that costs very minimal, and you can get organic cotton, as well as the print that they use as well is used with organic materials.
There you go. So organic. So we, as we see it, we all have an impact. No matter what we do, be it big, be it small, we all have an impact, and the choices that we make can govern not just our future, but our children's future. And will there be an earth here for us to be proud of leaving, or will it still just be devastating effects because we're not thoughtful as towards the purchases that we make and the things that we do? So it's a matter of just being really thoughtful, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Wow, Lily, we are at 7:33. Do you think we should maybe play a track and then go into the last section of the show? Which is, what's the question that we're asking today?
The question is, let me just open it. If a guy is dating a woman who has children, is he morally obligated to help her out financially?
Okay, so we'll see you all in 5. All right, that was the sounds of Barry White, Can't Get Enough of Your Love. And oh wow, those such classics, really great classics. We've come so close to the end of the evening, but we're going to tackle this one last question, all right? And I had quite a lot of feedback from it on Facebook today. And it is, if a guy is dating a woman who has kids, is he morally obligated to help her out financially? Yeah, Ken, why did you breathe in very deeply there?
Because it's an interesting question, because obviously I'm in the studio with 2 females, and I'm the one guy, so I guess you might want to, from a guy's perspective, I suppose. Well, the first thing I notice is that dating, That's the first thing I noticed. If a guy is dating a woman, so obviously she's a woman, she's got kids, we know that. But obviously, we're not sure, or nobody can be sure what that dating means for those two individuals.
Right.
How far along is their courtship, or if you can call it a courtship? I know today is modern. There might be different terms out there, but how far is the dating? Is it have they just met? Has it been longer? And obviously, I was hoping that she would have that conversation with him to make him know that I have children, and if before we go past the dating part, this is what I want from a relationship. So dating doesn't necessarily mean they're in a relationship.
Yeah.
From what I see.
Yeah.
From
So
just reading the question. I'm only going on what I see in the question. So, so before you would suggest that he would be morally obligated regarding the kids, I would assume they would have first had to have the conversation. And secondly, it's just dating. So it might not actually end up into a meaningful relationship or long-term relationship.
okay.
At that point, where if we're just talking about dating.
Yeah, I agree with you. Lily?
I would like to think that if she is a woman that has decided to start dating, she is well established in her own right, that she doesn't need him to support them.
Right.
That being said,
Yeah.
I also feel like we're speaking morally here. We're not saying is it his duty. We're saying morally,
Yeah.
should he feel like this is my woman,
But as Ken,
I should support the children? Because
Just
I
be out.
don't know what dating means. I'm sorry. I was girlfriend, and then I was fiance, and then I was wife. So I don't
Yeah.
understand it. But I feel like dating now is more, we're not exclusive. I'm seeing other people too. Does that mean all of those men that she's dating need to support her children?
that's true.
Then she's
Very true.
rolling in it.
And,
you know what I mean?
and also, if she's a woman and she's had children, can we maybe assume that her partner, who she's no longer with, is that particular person supporting the children?
We know that argument is
Again, that's the thing.
It's
I
a
know,
bit
I know.
rocky, it's a
but,
bit rocky,
but,
you know.
but there
Some
again,
are, some aren't,
Yeah,
you know.
there you go. So that might be another factor, as well as her being a woman of her own maybe her own financial making. She might be independent, but there's also that person in the background also.
The thing is, it says dating, right? But then it doesn't say kid. It says kids
that is very true.
as well. So are all of her children from the same father? Or does she make it a habit of meeting someone and then having a child with them and meeting someone and having a child with them? I mean, there's many, many factors that you could kind of look at as regards to this. You see, so you might
Okay,
just be
so
on
let's
on the list.
Let's specify. Okay, this is a woman she has children, but she was in a long-term relationship. Now that's not working, and now she's with this. She's in the dating game.
Right.
Okay.
And it could cut
However-
both ways as well. It could be a man that's got children. That I mean, it's very rarely that
But she wouldn't be financially obligated. That's a no.
But would she
just
be
standardly answer that question. No.
Yeah, would she be financially obligated to support him then?
No.
So why should the man?
And
have
it's not
to?
here. It's not asking if she should be if he should be obligated to support her. It's should he be obligated to help her out financially. I feel like we're using the kids as a reason for saying
support me.
yay or no, but it's actually helping her out. It's not.
What is
I'm
helping
paying all your bills.
Because she might think that it's paying her bills.
That's ridiculous.
But I think we're jumping the gun, because remember, we're talking initially about dating. Dating
Yeah.
is not classified as being in a committed relationship.
So what have they been dating like 3-4 years then? Is that dating or is it in a committed
That's
relationship?
committed, man.
That's
3-4 years is committed.
no, that's open to
That
open
is
to interpretation.
no. That's
It is.
committed.
Not
You
necessarily.
cannot be seeing me 3-4 years and you're telling me we're still dating. No,
There are
that's
people
not
out there
acceptable.
that have been seeing each other for longer than that, and then there's no ring on the finger.
We're sleeping in each other's house.
Yes, but
that's
there's no
that's
ring
a
on the
committed
finger.
relationship.
And this is
sorry.
not-
That's a
You can still,
commitment.
but you can still walk away from that.
That's fine. You
'Cause
can
there's
walk
no
away from a
commitment.
marriage with a
There's
ring on
no-
your finger.
It's harder.
No, not necessarily. Not these days,
I don't
anyway.
know.
You can just grab a bag and go
I think,
along.
again, morally that's open to interpretation, but I think it's harder to walk away if you've got a solid commitment, i.e. a ring, same
Having a
name,
ring
same
doesn't mean you've got
house.
solid commitment, Ken.
So
I
then,
get-
so again, it's same situation.
But you
with-
are in a
with your
commitment that
scenario.
you are supporting each other
That's the difference.
there. That
That's
is,
the
you know.
difference.
I
There's
would
the
like
difference.
to draw attention to the Facebook comments because
Okay.
for the first time in quite a while, we've had a lot of feedback.
Brilliant.
Yes, we
brilliant.
And I
have.
don't know if we're
brilliant.
going to get through all of them, but we'll take each one as they come. So our first one is from Michael Duncan. Hey, Michael. Dating, no. That's the first no. But in pursuing a relationship, it's a package. Very difficult to argue otherwise. And regardless of that those children, whether their fathers are paying support, you will always be on the hook for paying for another man's children. For example, I'm with someone and want to do a family holiday in the summer. Do you really think that a man can say, well, here's my bit of money for my flight and my portion for the accommodation, and leave the woman to pay for herself and the children? No self-respecting man could do that, and it's unfair to expect the father to contribute extra to that holiday, as he may well want to make plans himself for a holiday for those kids. Whether it's moral or obligation, there is really no way around it. I kind of agree with that, actually.
Listen, I'm paying my little pieces, and this is my bit for the holiday. You sort the kids out, because
No, I think that's wrong.
the father, regardless of where he may have plans, he can contribute to his children.
No, because what he's
going away
saying
on
is,
holiday.
what if he wants to take them on holiday? Does that mean he's paying for your holiday that you're going on, and I've got to pay for my holiday that I want to take them on? That's not fair.
Okay, if it's that kind of relationship as well, because some women don't even allow you to have 5 minutes with your child.
But we're thinking that this woman is smart. She's not an idiot.
Okay.
But then again, see, we're taking it outside the realms of dating. Now we're taking it a little bit further.
Yeah, but
That's what he said
dating,
in
no.
a
If
relationship.
you're dating, no.
If you're dating,
Yeah, but in a relationship, it's slightly different.
You know,
And he's pertaining to a holiday, as opposed to if you were seeing someone and no longer dating. That's when the obligation or the morality kind of kicks in. I think that's the aspect that Michael
Yeah.
is speaking from here.
Yeah.
And because Ricky says, no, he's not the father of them. The father of them should be doing that. And this should not be visited on him as an expectation. If he chooses to opt to, out of the goodness of his heart, that's another thing. Nor should the mother rely on this as a given. You make your bed, you lie down pan it. So... See, this is all comments from men as well.
This is what I'm saying, though. But when you're in that relationship with the woman,
Yeah. You're dating, Alicia.
see,
but this is everyone's taking dating in a different context.
Yeah.
Because what is the official term for being with someone? Is it dating? Is it what's the other one that they say in olden times? Courting. Do you understand? What is it? Ashley Shilto says...
Courting's with a view to marriage, though, isn't it? To court someone.
Yeah, but people don't... Not everyone gets married. Some people just like to have a partner. And cohabit. Technically, after 7 years, you're in a civil marriage. But, you know... Ashley says, shouldn't the father of the children be doing that? It pees me off when men leave relationships with children and don't contribute. He should be contributing to his children, but that's not the question. The question is, should he help her out? If they're going on holiday, that mustn't mean that she have money. Okay, because no one ain't going on holiday broke. Okay, so you got money to pay for a holiday. She's obviously doing her bit, but it's saying, should he help her out? If there's an additional thing that she might need to pay for, or, you know, oh, this month I'm a bit short, could you hit me up? Why shouldn't he help her out? You're supposed
But
to be...
he's not obligated to.
No, you shouldn't feel... I don't know. If you're dating, no. If you're just someone that I met on an app and we've gone out for a couple of dinners, then no, you don't I don't need your support. I wouldn't even ask.
So it comes down to where you are regarding your status in the relationship or the dating or that person dating.
Hold on, we
have a
call coming in.
caller.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hi, D. You all right?
Yeah, how you doing?
We're good.
That question.
Yes.
That question. Well, in some ways, I agree with quite a few things.
Yeah.
Okay. But, like you said, you can't make a question if somebody's dating and then switch it round into relationship. It's either dating or relationship.
Yeah.
Relationship is totally different to dating.
Yeah.
So when you meet somebody, yeah, we see it too many times in a movie where people have met, where this man had met this girl, you know what I mean? They had a little fun, and next thing, you know what I mean? He branded the father. Now, me personally, okay, if in a certain way, if the mother of my children has another partner, okay?
Yeah.
If my kids are going on holiday, I don't pay for their holiday. I give them pocket money.
Okay.
I give them spending money. If they need spending money, that's what I will give them. If they want to go on holiday, I want to take them on holiday. Because it's not fair that she can take them on holiday with her man, but me can't take my picnic on holiday with my girlfriend. Sometimes that's how it is. It's awkward.
Yeah.
So it depends on that situation. Now, for me to be in a relationship with another woman, okay, and there's no relationship between the mother and the father and the children and their father, then you've got to be questioning that situation. Do you understand? There's a lot of questioning in that situation. And do you really want to go down a road like that? Because sometimes you can meet a nut and you never know. So, you know, personally, to your question, does the man, should he contribute? No, not if you're dating.
Yeah, because dating...
Because majority of the time, when you are dating, you don't even get to meet the pick-me yet.
Yes, and it's what I was going to give the definition. It means you're going out on dates. You're actively getting out there and meeting other people, spending time with them. And dating someone means you seeing someone specific with a purpose to going or meeting up with them regularly, and you're spending time with a person in hopes of finding a committed relationship. In hopes of finding a committed relationship.
One thing, I know you guys are going to finish in a second. Time. There was one thing which I do not like. It's just because there's this skepticism about a male and a female, and that we're not classed as equal, but women want equal rights as men. So in a relationship, okay, you both should be given 50-50% in a relationship, okay? But it does, and that means with baggage or without baggage. You know what you signed up for. Right? But in dating, what I do not like when it comes to dating, okay, chivalry is dead now. So some people like to utilize, I'm the woman, you pay for everything.
Not anymore.
Because I give you this, because this ain't special. It's special between the both of you and how you both decide or choose to do something. Not just because I'm a female and I have this and every man wants it. I'm sorry to say that's how it is a lot of people. That's why it is so mashed up right now at the moment. So everybody wants equal opportunities and equal rights, but it can never be equal because there are male and female. We can do things together, but there'll never be. It can't be equal.
Well, thank you
and
so
maybe
much.
I might sound like a chauvinist.
No, not at all.
but
Because
I
times
agree,
are different. Times have changed.
Yeah.
They've changed a lot. You know, and like you said, you pertain to dating. We've seen what dating means. It's dating someone with a view, with maybe down the line finding some form of commitment. But whilst you're dating, you're not committed to that person
No, of course you're not.
have to have the moral obligation to give her finances for her children. But thank you so much, Dee. We really are running out of time
And one more
today.
thing.
Yes.
If you're dating somebody and you're always forking out you need to run west. Yeah? All right, then.
All right. See you later.
Thanks for the call, D.
Take care.
Catch you later.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
I did just want to address a couple of these comments just very quickly because I feel like a lot of people are making assumptions about the black male in this instance.
Okay.
I know that we've been, we've come from a lot of males not stepping up as fathers and whatever. However, that wasn't what was said. Yeah. We just said she's dating. She could have a great relationship with her baby father. Yes. He's not a deadbeat dad. He's not a sperm donor. He's contributing to his children. It was about helping her out in the time that she may need help. And someone made a comment that single mums don't have that single mums have baggage. Please don't refer to children as baggage because you may become that father that's no longer with that mother and you've created a single mother. So I feel like we need to get away from this
baggage business.
Yeah, it's not fair.
In certain situations, even in some cases, a husband or partner may have died.
Yeah, exactly.
There's many ways that a woman can become a single parent, and often, more times than not, it is the woman that is left with the children. Mm-hmm. And the guy said it was a 2% chance nowadays that a man will end up with their child. Yes, Ken.
Now, just to finish up, wrapping up and being very quick, just about the question and the definition of dating, it means trying to find potential.
Yes.
So to me, there are potentially good Afro-Caribbean men out there.
Women,
so
it doesn't matter. African
whether you got children, not children, it's good to date and find your potential mate.
Yeah.
And remember, that could be your situation. As much as you go into a relationship thinking that this is going to last forever and ever, you have to also remember, I'm now the baby father. Would I want my baby mother treated the way, or would I treat my next potential woman the way that man's treated the mother of my children? Do you understand? So it's all about mentality. We need to get out of that mentality that wouldn't go for baggage, or that's her kids, because her kids may become your one addition. So let's try and think maturely and
and overall remembering male, female, we are all in control of our fertility. So there are some instances where
the woman is in control, really.
The woman's in control, mostly, definitely, but a man can be in control of his fertility as well. So thinking on those terms, and maybe we won't end up with certain situations that we don't want to be in, having children out that we don't want to have as well. So we are the ones in control. So let's think about that quickly, Leash. Grant Cardone.
I'm literally just going to read
3 minutes
what it says.
Yep.
Determine and take the right approach. So we've had this conversation. We've spoken about sustainable clothing. We've spoken about Smile Day. We've spoken about
racism and Meghan Markle business.
Women Tosh.
Yes.
Her name is Tosh. And we've spoken about dating. So whatever you're doing in any of those instances, make sure you're determined and you take the right approach.
Absolutely. Even if it's just a little bit. Guys, thank you so much. Sorry.
We ended
Smile.
Yes. I didn't divide anyone there, did I? I hope I didn't divide anybody.
No, you didn't divide.
You didn't divide.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
All right, guys. We're going to say goodnight. We do hope you've enjoyed the show tonight. Thank you so much for your company. DJ Lara will follow me. Please check the schedule for all the DJs throughout the week. And don't forget, we do have a Facebook group. Please feel free to join the Facebook group. You can find me at Wimbo77 on Instagram.
I am naturally Lily_Lily89 on Instagram.
Yes, and I guess all we have left to say is we will see y'all
on the other side.
Take care.